Right, Aquarius, this is your weekly love reading. I'm going to do a 9-card spread. Get 3 cards for how you're feeling, 3 cards for how your person's feeling, and 3 cards for the outcome. I'll clarify what's going on, if there's any, trouble within the connection, find out what it could be about, and I'll get you some advice from Spirit. I can find, a time frame if that's relevant as to when something's going to occur. So let's get started. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Aquarius's highest good. How are they feeling with regards to the one they're thinking of, the one they've been dealing with in this 4th week of September? 3 cards, please. Right, in the challenge, we've got the Queen of Cups. So, with the High Priestess, that makes more sense. Okay, so you're trying to, in terms of your feelings and emotions, you're trying to use your intuition, okay? You are trying to connect to the divine, think about what is meant to be, okay, intuitively using your gut, okay? So you're usually a very cerebral air sign. You show up as the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords. Normally there would be a lot of swords energy. So for you to come up as a Queen of Cups says that you are very much in your emotions and, yeah, trying to think more instead of what is, fact, what is logic, what is the right thing to do. How do I, think this out? You're trying to go with your gut and, yeah, turning to, what does it all mean? Sort of a more higher, sort of spiritual, where are the life lessons here and where am I meant to be, in that kind of way. What am I meant to do? What am I meant to learn from this? How do I really feel, about this? It's a very different approach. It's very opposite to your usual approach, okay? Let's get another one for you then. Right, so you've got a combination. This is going to tell me the story of what's going on. So we've got the Devil, the Chariot. Okay, sense of injustice with the Scales of Justice reversed, 6 of Pentacles reversed. The Hermit, shadow work that's not being done. Queen of Wands, being angry, because it's Queen of Wands reversed, you see. 4 of Cups, I'll go through them more slowly in a sec. 4 of Cups upright and 4 of Wands reversed. Right, there is absolute chaos here, guys. The Devil is bad habits, bad behaviour, codependency, obsessive, behaviour. The Chariot's determination, going out to battle. It's also a sense of movement, okay, going towards what you want. The 6 of Pentacles reversed, if it was upright, that would be looking for balance, seeking fairness, gaining fairness, being fair. When that's reversed, that speaks of an unfair power dynamic or unfair, unequal contribution of money or time or energy or emotion. It's very, very unfair. It's unjust, okay? Something wasn't fair here, and they have the Devil card. Okay, the Hermit in the upright is someone that realises they need to walk this part of the journey alone. So when it's reversed, I'm assuming that means this person is not doing the shadow work. They are not having time alone to reflect, to look within why they're doing these things to others. You know, it's like being in denial, okay? Like, there's nothing wrong. I don't need to face this. The Queen of Wands reverse is someone who's losing their temper, okay? Or seeing the upright, the Queen of Wands is someone who's confident, okay? They're bold, they're ambitious, so you might be feeling really weak, okay? You might have been in denial over, you know, some poor decisions. Some lots, one. There's been poor decisions, poor behaviour, poor judgment, lack of, you know, accepting the things that you've done as your own, you know, lack of accountability, okay? Lack of taking responsibility, that's called accountability. You know, feeling weak, closing yourself off from others, and it's causing unhappiness within the household in which you live, okay? So very, very clear story there. So we've got discontent in the home due to your actions, okay? So let's get one more. Look, a very similar card once again, the Hierophant. Now this is, it's so similar to the High Priestess. If you look how similar these cards are. Now the Hierophant, the difference with the Hierophant is, this one is about education. Okay, teaching, education, what's right and wrong, having knowledge, imparting that knowledge on others. It's education, okay? The other card is using your intuition, it's connecting to spirituality, religion, okay? This is, that they're both cards of morality, okay? And using correct judgment. And we've got that with the Queen of Swords, which is back to logic, okay? You've gone back to that cerebral, logic-based thinking. How can I problem solve this? How can I use the right words? How can I communicate in the right way? So we've moved away from heart and gut back to mind, which is classic you, right? Now, the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, so it's not about being cold or calculated or using knowledge against people. I feel that you're trying to educate your way out of this, trying to talk your way out of this, trying to think your way out of this, which is a very Aquarian thing to do. Because swords are communication, knowledge, facts, the truth. You know, and the Queen of Cups wasn't in the reverse, so It was trying to use your gut, trying to go with your heart, trying to go with your intuition, spirituality, okay? And in the middle, we've got this, you know, the devil, which is poor behaviour, poor judgment, lack of judgment, you know, and it's causing unhappiness within the home, being shut off emotionally, losing your temper, you know, being in denial, refusing to do the inner work with that hermit reversed. That is messy. Right, let's see how your person's feeling about all of this, okay? The one you're dealing with, the one you're thinking of. Okay, so, right, your person has judgment and the Five of Wands in combination. Okay, so they are trying to decide what to do about this, and they're very conflicted because the Five of Wands is... Actually, the Five of Wands upright is conflict. So what is the Five of Wands reverse? Is it trying to avoid conflict, or what does that mean when it's reversed? I think it's trying to... No, that's Five of Swords reverse, Five of Wands. Five of Swords is arguments. Five of Wands is literally like aggressiveness, fighting with different people or internally. Right. Yeah, so upright, it's Leo energy, fire, energy of the unexpected, conflict, movement and change. Arguments, inner or outer conflict, struggle, boldness, tension, rivalry, competition. Okay, in the reverse, it's passive, scattered, desire, complex situation and trickery. So it's someone using that passion in a, you know, where Wands would ordinarily be viewed as passion, excitement, confidence. When passion spills over, you know, it becomes anger, it becomes jealousy, it becomes rage, it becomes aggression, you know, physical aggression, you know, misuse of passion, like, you know, promiscuity, being deceitful. So yeah, that really helps me because that's how this person has viewed you, which is deceitful, okay? And obviously that's a fair judgment because the cards are saying that you have been deceitful, okay? You've betrayed the public union because the Four of Wands in the upright is a very public relationship. You know, you clearly live in the same household. You may be married, okay, because we have Queens present, and we have the Hierophant is actually... Another thing about the Hierophant is it's the... it represents marriage and judgment, and the Justice reverse. Yeah, the Justice. Actually, that's not a Justice card, it's Six of Pentacles, but yeah, there could be a sense of betrayal in terms of the marriage. which would explain why we've got the feelings and intuition cards first, then the marriage cards reversed with the devil, and then we've got the Hierophant with the Queen of Swords, which is like going for education, facts, truth, and more cerebral energy. And your person, you know, sees trickery, deceit, and judgment. You know, you're being judged by them for your actions. So I'll get shadow cards for those. Right, the World card. The World card is about learning to take life's rough with the smooth. Okay, so where there's been troubling times, there will also be good times. Where there's been good times, there is now troubling times. You know, it's the sense of, in the Major Arcana, the Fool learns to take life's rough with the smooth. And, you know, you see a shooting star and someone who's kind of, see how thick these walls are? They're like castle walls, and they're so thick, like, for defence. It's almost a sense of like the windows have been opened, you know, inwards, and we're trying to get out. It's so bizarre. Or you could take it the other way and think that it's a wall and we're trying to get through the window to what's outside. But to be honest, I feel like we're inside something and we're trying to get out, because the way this looks like a ceiling here, I'd say we're inside, we're behind the castle walls, and we're trying to get out to better things. Because I know on this deck, this kind of deck, there's like castle walls, and, you know, it's sort of medieval and a little bit like maritime as well. And the Nine of Wands is like lots of challenges, and on that card, 8 of the wands are behind the castle walls, and one's kind of being threaded along a vine to escape. So that's how I'm going to read it as part of the wider deck. It's someone looking outwards, you know, understanding that there will be better times, you know. So again, it's a sense of not being happy at home. Right, so look, we've just, I don't know, I've just invoked that, but I've pulled out the Scales of Justice in the challenge position with Temperance in the challenge. So this person feels like, you know, a really strong sense of injustice, and it's really messing with their emotions. Temperance is a card of Sagittarius. You know, it's fire energy, trying not to be angry, trying not to be cold, trying not to be spiteful, despite being tricked or cheated on. You know, to put it bluntly, I would say there's been adultery here. But we'll clarify, you know, that other ways that you could betray someone is through, you know, finances. Could be both. Could be hiding, you know, addictions, seeing prostitutes. You know, there are many things that you can do to betray a spouse, okay? Legally and morally betray someone, you know, lying. Right, so for the outcome, we've got the Two of Wands with the Magician reversed. You know, you see all the clouds brewing and the rain, heavy rain, falling down, hitting the top of the ocean. And we've got Two of Wands, which is like this person doesn't know which way to go for the best, because there's this sense of like, I need to get out of here, I need to get out of this castle, out from behind these walls, and I deserve better, right? That's what they feel. This is about fairness. What's right, what's wrong, what's fair, what's unfair. You know, being unhappy where you are, feeling betrayed. 2 more for the outcome, please. Right, we've got a combination again. The Fool and the Page of Pentacles reversed. So I think somebody wants a new phase, but they're not offering anything. You know, it's like, well, I want a new chapter, but I'm not inviting anyone to come with me. Because the Page of Pentacles and the Upright is like a gift, or asking somebody out, you know, to go for a coffee, and it's like, I'll buy it. Or like, normally a Page of Pentacles is like an idea or an opportunity or something that's presented to you like as a gift, and that's reversed. But we've got the Fool upright, so I feel like, yeah, it's the sense of like, I want a leap of faith, but I don't know which way to go. I want a new chapter, but I don't know what that looks like yet, you know. And I won't be taking anyone with me. I'd be expecting something like the Nine of Cups, like, or the Ace of Cups, like they're focusing on self-care, you know, or, yeah, let's see what just got chucked out then. Okay, so we've got the Two of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. How's that for balance and duality? So somebody wants someone that feels equal emotions to them. Okay, so each person is presenting a cup to one another, and it's a divine union, and they want fairness. Okay, they want balance, they want equal input financially. With these pentacles, which represent coins, you've got equal emotion, equal finances. That's what this person is manifesting. That's what they want. That's what they deserve. That's what would be fair, okay, within a household. And we talk about this a lot on my channel. What is fair, okay? I'm Libra moon, so I'm very much about two people putting in the same. I don't like an unfair power balance, and I haven't always thought that way, but as I've got older, I'm more and more clear that that's makes the healthiest relationships, because no one can wield that over anybody. Well, I'm the one that pays, you know, the most, or, you know, because people don't equate, they just don't. What they'll say is, well, I paid for this. You might have done so many hours of physical hard labour cleaning a property, you know, and tidying it, and it takes energy, and it's like blood, sweat and tears, you know, and it's exhausting, and you're giving up many hours, you know, at the weekend and during the week to keep this, you know, keep everything ship shape, yeah. Otherwise, there is no, you know, sense of like things, there's no routine, yeah. It's a very important job to manage your home. But 9 times out of 10, people look back and go, well, I paid for everything. That doesn't mean anything to me, that you clean. So I'm never doing that for anyone again. And I'm never counting that as like equal, even though it is. That's not to say if, you know, I ended up on a really big salary, I wouldn't want someone to be a stay-at-home father, you know. But I would never wield that over someone, or I like to think I would never do that. Well, plenty of people have no problem using that against you. So I'd never be the one that is the stay-at-home mum. That's just not my... I don't want to be put in that position where someone ever again feels that they can tell me they're better than me, you know, and make me feel like I was a fool for like doing all that stuff for them. Absolutely not. Okay, it's time to clarify. So let's pull Shadow Love oracles. what is this conflict about, this sense of being tricked, being duped? You know, complexities, scattered emotions, like craziness, chaos. You know, or extreme lulling and passiveness. Because don't forget, people can switch between being kind of manic and chaotic and then being really depressed, and you know, there's disorders that cause that. So it could always be both, one or the other, or both. You're pretending that it's not ending, but it's time to let go and make a fresh start. So that is the judgment here. They want the end of this, you know, this dysfunction, the end of this public, you know, as everyone knows you as equals and, you know, a family within a household. They want that to end, because the reality is not, you know, how things appear. It's not healthy, it's not fair, it's unjust, okay? Childish. Someone has to be the adult in the room. Maybe the terms should be grow up or get out. Yeah, they're making ultimatums because it's just not two adults functioning together. Why have I got that mixed in? Give me one for the justice and the challenge position with temperance. Drowning. Yeah. You are going under and barely keeping things afloat. Ask for help. This person just, yeah, it's affecting their own mental health now. Affecting their emotions. The Magician reversed with the Two of Wands. So this like confusion over what to do next. Feeling incapable. Lost. Unsure, uncertain of the future. Brief affair, brace for a sudden ending, short but sweet, can't last. Right, the Fool with the Page of Pentacles reversed. Devilish, trouble follows them around, tempting, addictive charm. So yeah, they don't want anyone who's going to be, you know, offering themselves to other people. They don't want anyone who's going to be deceiving them, you know, sexually, having sexual relations with other people behind their back, stepping outside the marriage, stepping outside the relationship. That is absolutely, you know, what's been going on here. False hope, tries to sell you a pipe dream, no substance, evasive. So it's this sense of like just being an absolute user. Very, very foolish behaviour, you know, like breadcrumbing people, you know. This is something that manipulative people do, is make people feel, you know, that they're special at the beginning. They will love bomb. They'll be like, you know, can't compliment you enough. And, you know, this is what you're being accused of doing, which is sort of having that devilish attitude towards people, which is, you know, doing what you know is wrong. If you think of the devil and the angel being on your opposite shoulders, you're kind of doing what the devil's telling you to do rather than doing what's right, okay? So it's like the opposite of the Hierophant. It's the opposite of what you know to be right and wrong. Giving people false hope, leading them on, you know, enjoying what you can from them. It's devilish behaviour, right? And that is, you know, behind the guise of being happily married. Up in the air. Not able to make solid plans, flighty, ungrounded. Yeah, your person's sick of this. They don't want someone who is making false promises, false hope, you know, saying whatever to sort of yeah, manipulate. Okay, let's get one for ending. Frozen heart. Empathy and warmth melts barriers for true connection. So this person looking for true connections now. They don't want to be giving empathy to someone that doesn't deserve it. We've got whirlwind. Don't get caught up in the drama. Choose peace. Yeah, someone just wants a calm, sensible time now. They don't want any of this, like, you know, high drama, fighting, you know, being, you know, given attention one minute, ignored the next. They don't want any of that unpredictability, you know, this childish behaviour, immature behaviour. Looming agenda, you have different ideas about love and intimacy. Yeah. So whilst one person might think that's acceptable, the other person definitely does not. Controlling. Power struggles lead to being manipulative. So sometimes people can have affairs where they feel a lack of respect, where there is not mutual respect. That can come from earning different amounts of money and that being pointed out over and over. It can come from somebody not having good mental health and that being pointed out over and over. It can come from somebody not doing their fair share of chores and that being pointed out over and over. And that could be, you know, the person that's having the affair making out like they deserve to, like, have an affair because, you know, you're useless or whatever. Or it could be the person who is, you know, being told that they're useless or that they're this or they're that decides to go out and have an affair out of revenge or to rebuild self-esteem. So there's something about your union together that, you know, the person you're in this public, you know, according to everyone else, you are in a public union and living with somebody. There's something about the power imbalance there that's caused, you know, adultery and immature behaviour and revenge behaviour, or, you know, coping mechanisms that are really unhealthy. This devilish behaviour. Give me one for false hope. Tries to sell you a pipe dream, no substance, evasive, devilish. Trouble follows them around, tempting, addictive charm. So someone's got a really, like, they're very charismatic. They've, you know, attract people in with their charm. They might be funny, they might be intelligent, they might be, you know, might have aspects that are very caring, but then they, like, misuse it. Lay to rest, let go of lingering disputes and make peace together. Icy goodbyes. Amidst unclear paths and frozen moments, the hardest choice is leaving for clarity. So that came out in the challenge. And that was with that Fool and the Page of Pentacles reverse. So the, you know, the decision is going to be to leave, even though it'll be hard. You know, it's like, we'd rather leave and have calm than keep being in the storm and having all this drama and deceit. Up in the air, not able to make solid plans, flighty, ungrounded. This person wants equal emotion, being, you know, being input, genuine, real connections, and fairness in terms of finances. Counsel's compass, seek advice to steer judgment as insightful talks illuminate your journey. Yeah, this person might be receiving counselling and talking about what they do want in order to get their head together, you know, going forward for themselves. When is this person gonna, like, leave then? If this person was going to break up the marriage, ask for a divorce, or ask you to move out of the home, or they're going to move out of the home, when are they going to separate? When are they going to want to separate? obsessing over timing creates blocks. So Spirit's saying like it's not really useful to kind of think about that. The point is to, you know, accept responsibility for what you've done, and you've got to respect what the other person wants, because if you've wronged them, it doesn't mean they have to forgive you, or it doesn't mean they have to the absolute wrong move would be to try to justify actions. You have to admit, you know, fault, and then try to salvage like amicable communication. If you have children, if you have assets, you know, to try to kind of put any fault on the other person, that's not going to help things. You need professional mediators if this is your situation. If none of this resonates, it's not your story, okay? But if you know, or it might be that the roles are reversed, but if you know you have been unfaithful and that this has been discovered, you know, and this appears to be your story, the idea would be to admit, you know, fault and try to make this as amicable and simple as possible going forward, you know, not arguing over the small things and who gets what, but, you know, apologise, careful, like, consideration of what's important, which is children, you know, what's important, which is each being able to have, you know, financial security. It's damage limitation, and it's not through lying, it's through accepting fault, you know, and, you know, because it seems that this person knows the truth, so it's about accepting fault and sort of gaining forgiveness and moving forward, isn't it? It's not about trying to say I didn't do it, or, well, if you had been like this, that's just going to inflame things. What we want to do now is damage limitation, and, you know, deep down, if someone's been married to you or been living with you for many years, and this feels a very established, you know, relationship, with assets, with, you know, with dependents, you want to understand that this person has had very, very, you know, serious intentions of this lasting forever, that they know you better than you know yourself, more than likely. So there will be a sense of, you know, in order to be healthy, wanting to forgive and move on at some point when this, you know, when the storm passes. You know, it's like there's 6 stages of grief, isn't it? Or 6 stages of separation. It's like, at first there's denial, then there's anger, you know, then there's sadness, acceptance, you know, and moving on. So sometimes you can move forward and then you end up back, you know, and or go through the stages in different orders, but it's, everything, you know, needs just that mutual understanding that's what's best for the children, you know, or whoever is going to feel at the whim and mercy of all this. So, yeah. Let's get advice. Yeah, what's sensible to think about now is the approach, and, you know, maintaining like the best communication possible, you know, with what you have in common, which is, you know, like what's best for the children or whatever. Serenity. Find serenity in nature's embrace. nature is your sanctuary, you know, and, you know, go for walks, be, you know, someone that does have someone to confide in, like a good friend, perhaps someone who's been through this before. You know, they might have some wisdom, or somebody that you feel, you know, to evolve and learn is the next step now, isn't it? Like, where's that Hermit card? Yeah, the sensible next step would be this. Time in nature, okay? Time with, you know, counsellors, therapists, confidants, people, you know, GPs, whoever. Being honest with yourself, what is causing this behaviour that's devilish, what's, you know, what was making the power imbalance, and why that was making a problem, and how that can be avoided going forward, how we can approach things in a healthier way, talking about, you know, what's making us unhappy, and, you know, give the other person a chance to rectify that, rather than responding with unhealthy coping mechanisms. You know, like, perhaps there's a need to process emotions in a more healthy way. The most, you know, thing to benefit from right now is personal development, and you're the one that's going to benefit from that more than anybody. Do you know what I mean? So that's the advice from Spirit. Of course, you have to forgive yourself for doing these things, and you have to congratulate yourself as you move through this journey of learning. You know, we are humans having a human experience, but we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So life is here to learn from, you know, and that is the most attractive thing anyone could now view you doing, is actually healing and, you know, being a better person, you know, and that comes from facing and being able to say what you've done out loud, and being able to say that to someone, talk it through, understand why, and how to avoid that in the future. You know, what things would make you feel more secure, what things would, you know, have been going wrong that caused a power imbalance, what words might have been said that were particular triggers, you know, and why has that caused such a response. And I think when people see, even people that you've betrayed, when they see that kind of work, you know, in years to come, that there's actually every possibility of forgiveness. But not unless, you know, and there can't be an expectation that if you do these things, someone's going to get back with you because you haven't done the work yet. So, yeah, and what's to say that if you get with someone else that you're not going to treat them exactly the same? Because these are these devilish, tempting things that we do to look away from our own insecurities, their coping mechanisms that are unhealthy. If you're in a habit of doing that, how do you stop? Well, you've got to actually face what you're doing, or risk, you know, continuing creating bad karma for yourself. So it's about being honest, isn't it? Like, what am I doing and why am I doing it? And taking accountability, like, fully. And working through it so that you evolve and become a better person, like, genuinely. That's how you process what's happened. That's how you take accountability, process it, and move forward and be a better person. And you think about it as if, like, that's way in the past. So people can change, but people can also stay exactly, you know, in that cycle of doing the wrong thing. So it's about thinking what you're willing and ready to do. Aquarius, if this is your story. If it isn't, please don't claim it, and please don't be, you know, worrying that this is something that's now going to happen because you've watched it. I would check out your other placements. I would, you know, cross-watch the sign of your person, you know, and appreciate that this, you know, this isn't your scenario. Appreciate that it's not, because this is obviously, you know, a challenging reading, a challenging time for somebody out there, okay? So, if it resonates, if you found it helpful, you know, the aim is personal development. It's facing the truth, thinking about things, deep introspection, growing, evolving. That's what life is about. And, you know, of course, forgiveness. So, know that this is not just to kind of like bitch about people or judge people or say this person's a good person, this is a bad person. It's bad behaviour, okay? And you wouldn't say that to a child. You wouldn't say you're a bad person. You'd say that's bad behaviour, okay? So it's about treating yourself as a being, okay, that is learning. And so you would never say to your son or daughter when they're little and making mistakes and, you know, they're trying to fight their id, their basic instinct to just grab food off someone else, or, you know, it's like learning what's right and wrong, you know. And sometimes people feel uncomfortable in heavy emotions, so they have unhealthy coping mechanisms, you know, to kind of like deal with that. And it's all about, if you learn that and you recognise it and you manage to change that, that's brilliant. That's what life's about, okay? So think about being kind to yourself, forgiving yourself, but you have to do the work in order for other people to forgive you, okay? And there can't be an expectation on anybody when you have maltreated someone that they will forgive you, because that's about you feeling, you know, a sense of being less guilty, and that's self-serving. You have to now judge yourself and do the work, okay? And then you let other people decide, you know, their lesson will be forgiveness if that's what they decide to do. Challenging times, but don't forget this is what life is all about. It's for learning, okay? Evolving, growing. And the, you know, the good news is these are opportunities to learn. This is why these things happen in life, okay? All right, take care, Aquarius, and I'll see you in the next one.